and witam. I wish I could continue in Polish so smoothly as you, but my name is Gohar Sargsyan. I'm Director in Consulting, responsible for innovation, partnership and sustainability, based in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. However, I also operate European level and global level. Let's set the scene about sustainability. It's not secret, sustainability word and concern is in our minds every day of our life, in individual basis and also business level, because it became very, very important. Very many reasons about this, of course, because a couple of key drivers, let me put it in specific categories. The climate change, customers' requirement. In all businesses, we have the customer requirement also pushing us on sustainability. The government regulations, which we believe is kind of also shaping the game today, because there are many layers coming of regulations which companies must comply. Business sense, because today's business, in any business, we are talking about sustainability. Let it be catering, let it be IT, let it be a climate-related or environmental-related business. And eventually, of course, investors' pressure. As we know, any investor today are discussing about, okay, what are the sustainability criteria? Great, okay, so we have the scene now. We have a lot of pressure. Is there anyone or any organization which holds the golden key? We think yes, actually the banking and financial services environment, the organizations hold the golden key to finance our equitable future, in the sense that there should be mobilization of the resources and money and investment so that we can go to the journey of sustainability. On the other word, that is called sustainable finance. So what it means, in fact, sustainable finance is about consideration of ESG into the investment decision. So basically, in every financial decision you make, you need to think, does it make sense in terms of sustainability? So it apparently became so important that sustainability finances became also a key pillar of the European policy. So sustainable finance, it is really impressive that it has on its own individual pillar within the EU sustainability policy. As you can see that there are, of course, 4 pillars with regard to EU policy: the climate and energy, environment, investment and growth, and sustainable finance. Of course, last 2 are interconnected, but the most important is the importance of sustainable finance, so that's why it has its own pillar. So let's see, but is it urgent, or is nice talks, nice concerns, and so on? Apparently, it looks like the EU sustainability reporting policy is becoming really and moving in unprecedented pace these days. So we can't wait anymore, and this is not an option or kind of luxury anymore. We must act now. As you may know, it's supposed to be the Sustainability Reporting Directive in force from the beginning of this year. However, European Commission made the decision to postpone to the next year for the reason that it's so complex, it was impossible to put all together the synergize and put all together the regulations and rules to be able to control as well, not only to understand what it is and how the reporting is done, but also to make sure that companies can follow that. So here we are not going, of course, to read, it's just about the journey, that by 2026, although initially it was supposed to be 2024, that the first SME would also already publish their results, but now it's a little bit pushed away because it's really complex to make the reporting. So, do we have money to make this happen? So, let's see where we can get the resources and money to be able to implement the sustainability agenda. As you know, European Union committed on climate and energy targets for 2030, and minimum 40% there will be cut in greenhouse gas emissions compared to 1990. At least 27% share of renewables there will be by 2030, and at least 30% of energy savings should be encompassed like business as usual. So the combination, public money and private money coming together, the European Commission committed €1 trillion under the big umbrella of the EU Green Deal, and also basically for the climate change. So roughly it's about 185 to 280 billion euro. That's the plan for annual spendings. However, it is important to note that 1 trillion euro, it's not out of pocket cash money directly. That is also about regenerative money. For example, if European Commission puts some considerable funds, let's say a couple of billions, they expect that it is going to be regenerative as well. So, great. So we set the scene, we see the urgency, there is a timeline, right? And then there is also even money. But what to do? Okay, we all understand we have to do something, but how can we act? What is the next step so that it becomes on a practical level? But of course, we are still talking about strategy. So here we go. So first of all, really important that we, in order to have sustainable finance mandate and also decision-making ability towards financial services industry, strategic framework for financial services of sustainable finance needs to be established. So this is the basic framework which we worked out together with ABN AMRO Asset-Based Finance as a framework, and this is a proposal which was actually adopted from the perspective for financial services institutions. So what are the key pillars here in terms of this framework, sustainable finance? Client-driven, internal-driven, market-driven, those are the three vertical important pillars. And indeed, today, societal-driven pillar is becoming the fundament in anything we discuss. So I'll just touch upon very quickly. A client, anything related to the client, whatever you serve to your clients, and also based on this client sustainability strategy. Internal driven, it's about within your organization global policies, shareholders' needs, and of course within your organization, for instance, it's about how your IT systems are organized, how you are doing within your organization. Market-driven, it's every day that some policies are coming, regulatory environment is changing, and so on, and there is also market push. So this is all about that. And eventually, really important pillar, which is the fundament, it's about society. What you do for the society? Are you the gatekeeper? What are you delivering for the society, for their well-being? And by the way, society and community can also be like a new market enablers, and they also can be create new business opportunities. What we have identified, there are top three challenges from the banking perspective and how to overcome. So the key challenges are like lack of market alignment. Sustainability and ESG, the data and perception is still subjective based on a lot of biases because the data sources are not really known. And like in the data availability and consistency, this is another challenge. And there are different methodologies to measure the success or the performance of ESG. As you know about the ratings, for example, ESG ratings, that is really, it has multiple methodologies, several methodologies, and one organization cannot follow all of them. One organization should follow one, and then you have the rating. You may remember the recent tweet from Elon Musk, who said that ESG makes no sense, which waved the internet. So basically, that's it just illustrates the issue at hand. Why it is so complex? So because ESG rating assess looking into the risks, ESG risk related to the organization's business operations. And it does not necessarily measure the impact to the environment. For example, Tesla, which is delivering solutions for sustainability. They come short in the ESG rating, but British American Tobacco, which is doing harm to the environment, basically they have high rating. So, and run on talent, so that is why it's so very, very complex, of course. And so run on talent as well. Let's be honest, if there is an area which is revolutionary, like ESG incorporated into business strategy these days is basically new. It's rather revolutionary, right? So from that perspective, if something is new, how can you have very senior talent? This is also something to consider, right? So there are really educated people who have some great background and maybe some history on the sustainability, but you need to train them. You need to groom them, especially if the ones who are very enthusiastic on the subject. And so there are three kinds of key risks and opportunities related to the organization. I will go to the strategic, operational, and internal. Probably I shouldn't read into details on this, but the idea of some of the risks are about it can be, all companies use the word sustainability, it can be seen as buzzword, but in that case, better to have good cases and introduce, even if it is small community project, better to do that. Operational disruption, maybe the company cannot deliver on the regulatory requirements, or there will be a risk management problem which can impact on the portfolio. From that perspective, new risk framework needs to be in place, where you have to incorporate all the ESG concerns. And then there is also, of course, sustainability alignment with organization, core operation. Something happens in the boardroom, doesn't have connection with operations, it will not succeed. So, and then eventually internal societal. This is about skilled employees and awareness and engagement, because this is something that very complex and everybody has a part to play here. So one of the risks, important one I would like to mention here is Dutch financial institutions are collectively exposed to around 510 billion in risk from companies highly dependent on ecosystem diversity. This is really interesting. It's the study done by the central bank, the Dutch central bank. And it is all about outstanding loans. So that also means that it's really sensitive. Everybody has to look into the sustainability subject. And sustainability finance will eventually deliver. That's the conclusion on the climate change. Every investment you do, you need to look into it. A couple of examples from the financial market, a global market. BlackRock is going international. The BlackRock, the world's largest investor, makes sustainability as a standard. European Central Bank, the one which prints the money or fiat currency. So basically, they are also making it a standard. And this is a good example from the engagement I've been, and I am actually quite involved now as well. ABN AMRO Bank is the third largest bank in the Netherlands. We have good partnership and collaboration on the sustainability topic. And we have setting up the strategic sustainable finance strategic framework. And currently we are setting up sustainable IT lab in collaboration with the Vrije University Amsterdam. What's the take in there? So we have a knowledge exchange, thought leadership. We have joint publication, joint podcast, and joint event. The idea is that together we co-create and help each other to grow. And we have also coming up in Cybos, which is the financial services biggest event in the world. This year is going to happen in Amsterdam. If you happen to be there, welcome, and I would love to see you also in Amsterdam in our session. So to conclude, in achieving an exclusive economic system and the sustainable development goals requires effective multi-stakeholder collaboration for all sectors together. So partnership and collaboration, we believe, is the key to succeed on sustainable journey for financial services. So with this, I would like to pass to Ola. Thank you very much for now.